guys, I'm back again with another video, and this is another video in this series on strategic planning and strategic management, and this is a follow-up video on SWOT analysis: strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Now, when we are talking about an organization, there are factors which are considered as strengths for an organization or a company or even as a person, and then there are factors which are considered as weaknesses, be it for a company or for a person. Those are the strengths and the weaknesses, but then there are also opportunities that present themselves. Okay, now just like strengths had a negative aspect, which was the weakness, opportunities and the opposite opportunity would be the threats. Now, these are the four factors that you can say that's impacting a company, an organization, or a person. And when you're analyzing these four factors, you are essentially carrying out what is known as a SWOT analysis, and we had covered that in a previous video. Now, what we are going to be doing is, like I said, strengths and weaknesses. Those are something that's inside you as a person or inside your company, an organization, or a department, whereas opportunities are something that externally present themselves to you, and threats are something that's externally impacting on your organization. So in this video, what we are doing is we are looking at the internal factors, and so we'll be looking at the strength and the weaknesses. And when we look at the strength and the weaknesses, what we are actually doing is we're doing we're looking at internal factors. Now, if you remember in the video on SWOT analysis, we were just listing down the strengths and the weaknesses and the opportunities and threats. But in this video, we'll actually we go into more depth, and we'll actually evaluate numerically what the strength and the weaknesses are and how they impact the company. And we'll be reading numerically. Okay. So if you remember, we had done a sample SWOT analysis for a software house that was thinking of going into building hardware, building PCs. And we had decided that these were the strengths that the company has, the software house has, and the weaknesses. And these were the opportunities and the threats that are presenting themselves to the organization. Now, because this is, we are looking at internal factors, so we will only be looking at this. In this video, we'll be looking at the strengths and the weaknesses. Okay, so and we will evaluating them. Numerically. So here's how you would carry out the internal factor evaluation. Essentially, what we have done is we have copied and pasted the strengths and the weaknesses. So there were 4 strengths and 3 weaknesses. Okay, so we list those down, and then in the column next to it we give weights, and then ratings and the weighted score. Now, weights are assigned ranging from 0 to 1, but all the weights added up need to add up to a 1. So because we have 4 strengths and 3 weaknesses, each the weight of each strength or weakness would be a fraction. Okay, be less than 1, because all of them add up to a 1. All right. Now, ratings are assigned from 1 to 4. 1 is a major weakness, 2 is a minor weakness, 3 is a minor strength, and 4 is a major strength. And the weighted score is calculated by multiplying the weight by the rating. All right, so let's get started. Now what we'll do is we'll actually start assigning weights to each of the strength, and keeping in mind that it should add up to a 1. Now we have 7 items total, 4 strengths and 3 weaknesses. So each of them would be less than a 1. It would be a fraction. So we feel we have a strong financial position, and the weight that we can assign to it is 0.1. Now, these are not magical numbers. These are something, obviously these strengths are something that you think your organization has, or your company or your department or you as a person have, and similarly the weaknesses. And the weights are again something that you feel how important they are, how less important they are, what weightage they carry, and whether they're a minor weakness or a major weakness or a minor strength or major strength. These all are your perception, what you think, to the best of your knowledge, to the best of your capabilities, abilities, that you can assign them. So we have a strong financial position. We are assigning it a 0.1. Loyal customer base, I guess it's more important than financial, so it's 0.186. Brand recognition in the information technology, that gets a 0.2. And management team has substantial product and industry knowledge, that's a 0.08. Weaknesses, there's a lot of new hires to train, gets a 0.15. Not known as a manufacturer of PCs, again that's a big one, and that gets a 0.2. And lack of strong relationship with motherboard manufacturers, that only gets a 0.084, because I guess relationships with motherboard manufacturers can easily be set up. Now the next step is to assign ratings. Okay, now before we do that, allow me to remind you that the weights had to add up to 1, and if you see, they do add up to a 1. Okay, now let's go ahead and start assigning ratings. And like I said, 1 would be a major weakness, 2 would be a minor weakness, 3 a minor strength, 4 a major strength. Okay, so we feel we have a strong financial position. The rating is 3, and for the weighted score we multiply 0.1 into 3, gives you a 0.3. Loyal customer base, weight is 0.186. The rating we give it a 3, and the weighted score is 0.558. Brand recognition in the information technology, weight is 0.2. Rating we give is a 4, so we get a 0.8. Management team has substantial product industry knowledge, 3, so 0.08 into 3 is 0.24. Now we carry on the same process for the weaknesses. Weaknesses are either 1 or 2. The first one is there's a lot of new hires to train. That's a minor weakness that can easily be overcome. So 0.15 into 2 is 0.3. Not known as a manufacturer of PCs. We give it 1 because we feel we would be having a tough time trying to compete with the HPs and the compacts and whatnot, and the Dells. So we feel that that's a major weakness. So 0.2 into 1, it would be 0.2. And lack of strong relationship with motherboard manufacturers, that's a 2, just a minor weakness, because like I had said earlier, the relationships can be very easily be set up, and so the weighted score is 0.168. And now what we do is just add up the weighted score, and we get 0.2566. Now if you see the average of the weighting is 1 to 4, so the average is 2.5. We get the score we are getting is 2.566, so slightly better than the average. So this is how you would actually numerically evaluate your internal factors. Okay, in the next video, what we'll be doing is we'll be doing a similar activity for the external factors, the opportunities and the threats. But I'm going to end this video here, and if you like this video, I would request that you kindly give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more videos like this, please kindly subscribe. Thank you.